Hey, this is Paul Colligan, and this is the Thinking Out Loud podcast, the podcast where I get this, think out loud. It doesn't come out on a scheduled basis. It comes out if and when I have something to say, and well, today I have something to say. Something really interesting is going to happen to podcasting in 2016. Now, I've been in podcasting for more than a decade, and I've been waiting for this day to come, but it just hit me recently that this is really, really big. See, in 2016, podcasting becomes ubiquitous. It used to be when someone didn't know about podcasting, when you told someone about podcasting, you would tell them, well, you do this. And then they'd go, well, how do I listen to a podcast? And then you'd go, well, you have to find your app store and you have to download this and you have to do this and you have to do that. And then recently, Apple introduced podcasting into the iOS platform. And all of a sudden, anybody with an iPhone or an iPad or an iPod could grab podcasting pretty quickly. That was very, very cool. And in terms of market generation, absolutely fantastic because, gosh darn it, most media consumers on the smartphone are coming from the iOS device. But when it comes to sheer numbers, when it comes to the quote-unquote masses, what's really interesting is that podcasting really didn't have, and really at the time of this recording, doesn't have a simple and easy way to get it inside of the Android platform. Now, yes, you can download a bunch of apps, and there's great apps right now that make a very pleasurable podcasting experience, but the simplicity of an app preloaded on the phone just simply isn't there. The simplicity of an app preloaded on a tablet simply isn't there. Well, Google just announced Google Play is going to start supporting podcasts. Now, most podcasters in the know have actually already submitted their podcast, and they're waiting for Google to launch this any day. There's different predictions for when it'll be launched, but everyone knows, and Google has confirmed that it will be launched soon. Well, why does this matter? Well, when you put together iOS and Apple, when you're putting together iOS and Android, depending on who you're speaking to, you're at about 95% of the smartphone marketplace. That means that 95% are going to be able to simply get to a podcast quickly and easy right from the device they are using. Now, there's no simple and easy way to do this on BlackBerry or Microsoft Phone, but those numbers are getting smaller and smaller. And the fact of the matter is, they're not the standard Android iOS is. And now podcasting is available on both of those simply, quickly, and easily. Podcasting has become ubiquitous. Podcasting has become simple, and it's pretty exciting. The other thing that's really interesting, if you look at numbers, is just simply the fact that although podcasting is getting higher and higher every year, and although podcasting is getting more and more interesting, it's not reaching the numbers of platforms such as Pandora and other internet radio. Now, Pandora is the 800-pound gorilla, but here's the interesting thing. Just recently, and this is available right now, Pandora announced a partnership with the podcast Serial, where you can listen to Serial on the Pandora platform. Now, it's the only one. There's no way for podcasters to submit their podcast to the Pandora platform, but I'll tell you this, it's going to work. It's going to work well, and Pandora is going to realize that, wow, we could have third-party content for free, put ads on it, and make a lot more money than grabbing someone else's content, such as Taylor Swift or whatnot, where we have to actually pay for the content. Any strategic podcaster, the second Pandora opens up, will give the content for free. It's a better platform for Pandora to see and make more money. And as a result, it's something that we're going to see very, very soon. So when all the smartphones are doing it, and when all of the default radio is doing it, and by the way, that's Pandora. If you look at iHeartRadio is already doing podcasting. As a matter of fact, my podcast report is currently available on iHeartRadio. Podcasting truly getting ubiquitous, truly becoming simple and easy to grab. And with that, podcasters really need to think about what they do next now that they can be grabbed by pretty much anyone looking to grab their content quickly, simply, easily. I'm doing a webcast in a couple of days. If you listen to this, you might not be able to attend it live, but the web address I'll give you will give you access to getting an archive of this recording. I'm calling it the Big Broadcast. I do it every year. I just do a big live webcast, talking head, screen sharing, screencasting, that type of thing about what's happening in the podcasting space. And well, I'd love to invite you to come. So if you head out to paulcolligan.com/big, that's paulcolligan.com/big, I can get you either ticket to the live event if it hasn't happened yet, or archive access information on what's happening there. But if you want to see just this, what else is happening in podcasting in 2016, I definitely recommend attending. Again, that is paulcolligan.com/big. You've been listening to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, the podcast where I think out loud. I've been recording on this one on a simple iRig lav mic. Very simple, very easy. Recorded it right to my phone. I'll try to make sure I tell you in every episode what platform I used to record it. But with that said and done, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to Thinking Out Loud, go ahead and do that so that you can get future episodes sent to you on a regular basis. Because they are not predictable, because this is not associated with an email newsletter or anything like that, best way to make sure you're updated when I think out loud next is to subscribe to Thinking Out Loud. You can do that at iTunes or any of the big podcast platforms. Thank you so much. Talk with you next time. Bye. Okay, so I've done that. And as you can see, it's been recorded, and it's nice, it's simple, it's easy. I'm going to click Save Recording, and then it's going to go up to the system. And this time we're going to call it, I'm going to call it TOL3 for Thinking Out Loud Episode 3. And then one of the things we're going to do immediately is I'm going to go to Done, and I'm going to upload it and create a production, because one of the things that's amazing about this is that right now in the background, it's already going to the server to create the podcast. And while this is going on, I can do everything up. We're going to set the preset. The preset is Thinking Out Loud 2.0. And then the metadata is, let's wait for this to finish uploading for a second here so you can see how fast this is. Just a 5-minute episode, but nice and simple. Okay, that's been uploaded. We're now going to go to the metadata. And the metadata, you can see I've got this preset to, the podcast. And obviously this was an episode number 1. This is episode number 3. You can see here, obviously the title is Podcasting is Becoming Ubiquitous. Let's spell that right. Glad I got spell check even inside of the iPhone there. Let's get rid of that space. As you can see here, got to get my episode number correct. Episode number 3. Let's see. Always fun typing in front of a live recording here. Let's get rid of those two. We're good. Cover photo, we'll just use the album art for this. Location doesn't matter. Year, this is still 2015. Might be the last episode I do of 2015. You can see that is done. It's nice. It's simple. It's easy. Here's subtitle and summary. In the summary, let's describe here. Paul Colligan describes how and why podcasting, let's fix that, is becoming ubiquitous and invites you to attend a live cast about it. More info about the live cast. Let's make sure we say that the same way on both. Can be found at paulcolligan.com. Big. Okay, we are done. This is there, and so what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to click this check button, and then I'm going to save and start this production. And then what this does is this uses the phonic platform to actually edit the podcast. Now, what's interesting is not only is it editing the podcast in terms of adding the front and back music, but it's also doing some noise reduction. It's getting rid of hums. It's making my voice a little bit fuller as a result. It's also leveling out the audio, getting it to a standard level so that all of the podcasts listen and sound the same. And what we're going to do here is we're going to wait for this to definitely come on board. And I can't deal with the volume on this one just because of the recording stuff that I've got involved here. But check this out. So it's uploaded it. It's encoding it now. It's putting together the entire episode. And this is not the most exciting part of the video, obviously, but I want to show you how real time this is. As you can see, it's 9:41 on the phone. And now you can see the podcast episode's done. Now, I could hit play. I don't think this is going to work for you with the recording setup. Yeah, it's not going to be played, but Watch this. So now it is there. It has been uploaded to Auphonic. But the thing is, not only has it been uploaded to Auphonic, but Auphonic actually has uploaded it to Libsyn. Libsyn has automatically triggered iTunes. So when we go over to my podcasts, and you can see the most recent episode I have here is Why I Launched an App, Thinking Out Loud, episode number 2. When I click here, when I do a refresh, check this out. Bam, episode 3 is already there. So the podcast that I just recorded has been put into iTunes. It has been made available, and it is there for me to watch. I can take a look at this. I can even tap on that, and you can see my link out to sign up for the big broadcast is actually, the big broadcast is actually inside of this. It takes you out to the website, and you can download it immediately. So the publishing is done, the sound engineering is done, the leveling is done. Everything happened from the phone quickly and easily. And man, gosh darn it, I love this part about podcasting. Please come to the big broadcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll go into more specifics about how I did this and other things, as well as show you kind of what you can do to get ready for podcasting in 2016. But did this one real time on the phone. Wanted to show you how powerful it was. Come to the webcast to learn more. And even if you catch this after the date, don't worry, sign up. We'll get you the archive and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.